Asymmetric collapses. This is the next step in our SIV debrief series. The goal of this exercise is to simulate a collapse and a cravat that was created after the collapse. Before anything, you want to make sure you keep your direction to fly away from any obstacles, other pilots, terrain, and only then you start thinking about dealing with the cravat. Here's how we do it in our courses. You create the collapse, hold it in, observe what your wing is going to do. Some wings will turn you into the collapse, others might turn you away, and some will simply keep flying straight. It all depends on the type, the size, and the energy of the collapse. So you collapse, you observe, and you act accordingly. If the wing starts to turn you into the collapse, first thing you want to do is weight shift away. If that's not enough, add a little bit of a brake input, and your goal is just simply to fly straight. The roll compensation, if any, is exactly the same as in rotational work. When the flying side wingtip goes down towards the horizon and starts to rise up again, that's what you're looking for. You're adding a bit of a brake input just as the wingtip starts going back above you, and as soon the wing is centered overhead, you let that hand up and let the wing fly. This will stop the roll. Then watch, is it staying straight or trying to pull you back into the collapse? If it is pulling you back into the collapse, add a bit of a small, precise correction as needed to keep it stable and centered. This is finesse work. Collapse, control the roll, maintain straight flight. Precise, minimal inputs. Once you're comfortable with that, we move to turning exercises. You'll collapse and turn with the collapse about 90 degrees. Then you'll stop it and gently turn it back all the way back another 90 degrees. And stop again. This teaches precision, learning to fly the wing collapsed without overreacting and applying exactly the amount of input needed. It's also a great exercise preparing for auto-rotation exits, because once you're in auto-rotation you'll need a lot of brake input to stop it, to exit it, but once you're under the wing at the exit window you need to go back to finesse precision. The same type of precise control we train here in asymmetric work. Let's take a look at a few examples from our SIV courses. Here pilot collapses it, weight shift initially out, adds a touch of outside brake and starts weight shifting in. But even without that amount of weight shift, he's not being pulled in. So brake is more efficient than the weight shift. Weight shift is just avoiding that you overreact and brake outside brake too much, and that can cause a cascade event. So here, the pilot is going for collapse. He has a weight shift outside, collapse is coming in. So this weight shift outside is anticipating the collapse going to happen. Normally, we want you to just sit straight, collapse it, see what happens. In this case, pilot just reacted this way. Collapses it, goes neutral weight shift here. As he does that, outside brake comes on. You can see that here, there's a bit of a trailing edge action happening, and that's avoiding the wing to turn into collapse, even though here, he's starting to add a lot of inside weight shift into the collapse, but the brake is still on there, and that avoids the wing to turn. You can see how little brake input is enough to avoid it to turn, even though if you look at the hand, it's very close to the riser, but he has a little bit of a wrap, and it's a little bit, if that's the riser, the hand is here. So the distance here between hand and the riser is enough to induce this trailing edge action, which helps to avoid most of the turning already, and then he releases and resets. So the big collapse, wing shoots straight away, pilot reacts with the brake and a weight shift and gets it back straight. He was a bit surprised with the amount of energy, that's why the reaction was a lot quicker. But there we go. Big nice collapse, it's pulling in about 50-60% of the wing goes. You can see the weight shift is already moving to the, barely can see it, but in this here you can see the head move a bit to the outside. So as he collapses, anticipating, so he's weight shifting away from the collapse. Trailing edge is clean, so the brake is staying up there as he collapses the wing. And then the wing shoots quite dynamically. With that much of a collapse, it pulls the wing towards it and it shoots. And as it goes above pilot's head here, you can see the hand adding this in this section. You can see how the hand is being pulled down quite hard. Nice big brake input as the wing shoots forward, the flying side. And the moment he starts loading the wing, the hand eases up a bit and holds it in a good position as he releases the collapse. It's a very good reaction. This is more realistic to what could happen to you in the wild, because collapses can be quite aggressive. So straight away weight shift as it wants to shoot, brake input as you come under, ease up, see what's going on and let it fly. It's a very, very good reaction. It's all the right things. So weight shift, not enough, brake, as he goes under, easing up, and then in this case collapse opens up. Here's another collapse, a bit longer one, where pilot is trying to compensate for the roll just with a weight shift. So here collapse comes in nice and gentle, he's stayed neutral, weight shift's going out, coming back into the collapse, and he's trying to work his weight shift back and forth to keep the wing straight. And this kind of timing was a bit off, so he's making the roll a bit bigger, and you can see that the wing is actually turning away from the collapse instead of into it. So this is, every collapse is different, and the wing will react differently based on what type of collapse you have. So as you can see, comparing to the collapse before, pilot is pulling in it gently, and it's a lot smaller collapse, a lot less energy in it, and he's staying neutral as it collapses. He feels that the wing is gonna pull him in, or so it feels, because the wingtip will be rolling up towards the collapse, so the pilot will counter it with a weight shift in anticipation of being pulled in. There's a nice weight shift there. You can see the orange helmet move, and the roll comes back. The pilot is moving into collapse with or neutral, and that gets the roll going again. And so he's doing tiny little bit movements with the weight shift to try to avoid the roll, which is not quite working in this case. But what you can see is that the wing has turned away from the collapse. And this happens quite often in different configurations of collapses and different wings and wing loadings. But what you want to look here for when you have roll like this, so you're going forward, the flying side's going down and it's coming up. It's going down and going up. So when the flying side is down like this, that's the wingtip that you're looking for, the flying one. As it comes up, as it starts coming up, you can add a bit of a brake input to compensate for the roll. Once the wing is right above your head, you let it fly again and you stop the roll and the wing will fly straight. In this case, pilot is not doing that, but you would apply here as it comes up, release and go straight. And it's a very gentle, smooth adjustment, and that helps to keep the wing straight. And then you can see for directional control, once the roll has stopped. Roll control is the same as in rapids or natural exits.